Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch One. Thanks for logging on. Today we are looking at this IWC 18-karat rose gold jumbo-sized caliber 89 Gents watch from approximately 1950. This extraordinary vintage piece can be seen and purchased on our website, watchyouwant.com. And if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. You can also click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the video at any time to see our complete listing for this watch with pricing, additional photographs, and of course, all additional detail information about this vintage timepiece pertinent to the hardcore collector, because that is the target audience for a watch like this. Now, IWC's great caliber 89 manual wind debuted just after World War II. Schaffhausen, which had unfortunately been bombed by U.S. forces during the war, had barely stopped smoldering at the time this caliber debuted. Robust, stately, rugged, and long-lived, it was produced from approximately 1946 to 1976. But very few of the watches to bear the manual wind movement are this attractive, nor have they survived this intact. Now, on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, the watch plays almost modern in its size. 36.5 millimeters across the round of the case, it is considerably larger than the typical men's watch of the 1950s. For that matter, it's closer in size to the famed Portuguese than it is to any traditional men's watch of the era. Now, the watch does have gorgeous composition with a beautiful domed plexi. Nevertheless, it is not excessively thick with a gorgeous double-stepped case. The watch is actually only 10.5 millimeters thick, and that includes the plexiglass. Now, from lug to lug, despite the 36.5 millimeter measurement, it is quite compact and elegant, spanning only 42 millimeters from the cowhorn lugs on one side to their opposite number on the other. And it is worth noting that if you want to get into a luxury watch from Switzerland with the so-called Corne de Vache lug style, well, you can sell your kidneys and get the new Vacheron Constantin 1955 Historique Corne de Vache chronograph. You can sell your kidneys, your kids, and your soul and try to buy the original reference 6087, or you can take a look at this IWC caliber 89, and it's extraordinary in several respects. First and foremost, those lugs. They're beautifully intact, minimally polished. They maintain incredible body. Now, the watch does retain all of its original hallmarks, so you can tell that during the watch's lifespan, it's been rarely, if ever, refinished. Now, it's not completely perfect. You'll note there's a little dent in the case on the flank, and the watch does show some subtle signs of age, but very, very few. All of the applied gold indices on the dial, the baton hands at center, the lancet seconds hand, the horizontal metallic grain of the dial, and that gorgeous vintage International Watch Co. Schaffhausen script are completely intact, as though the clock were turned back to the day this watch shipped out of Schaffhausen. Now, we estimate its age to be circa 1948, 1949, 1950, and it has the caliber inside to match. The caliber 89, in this case, a wonderfully stately traditional example of Swiss watchmaking at its best. Now, it has a power reserve of approximately 36 hours, so you're going to wind it daily, and for your effort, you're going to see a gorgeous 18,000 vibration per hour, 5 beat per second step of this traditional center-mounted 2.5 hertz seconds hand. It's a gorgeous and easily legible composition that plays perfectly with any attire. Now, vintage watches can get away with a little bit more casual treatment than perhaps their owners would have attempted in the 1950s when they were new. Today, you can wear this one raffishly with short sleeves, with shorts in casual environments, and it is the ultimate talking point, featuring those gorgeous lugs. Again, reminiscent of a Vacheron, 18-karat rose gold. It's an unusual material for IWCs of this period, which tended to be technically inspired utility watches, more often than not simply rendered in steel than any precious metal. When rendered in gold, generally yellow, very rarely rose or red. And this example is incredibly intense. This is far more than your standard rose gold. It does verge on what today would be called red gold. And again, all of the lines of the case, the size, the volume, and the definition of the lugs, beautifully preserved. Everything about this watch presents effectively as new as a watch manufactured before the Eisenhower era could ever be. It's an exceptional piece. It's for the hardcore IWC collector or the vintage watch aficionado who really knows his stuff. At 36.5 millimeters, this one wears modern on the wrist, and I can assure you that This watch, inside, is as handsome as this watch on the outside. The caliber 89, with the exception of a recent service, appears virtually untouched. Bad watchmakers have stayed away from this one. It's a remarkable survivor, a wearable survivor, and it would be a marquee addition to any vintage collection. You can see this circa 1950 IWC manual wind caliber 89 Gents watch in 18 karat rose gold on our website, watchyouwant.com.